When you look at, some of the plans laid out by the Prime Minister, which you're presenting today, how many jobs will be lost in the transition? Do you worry that you don't have the skills, so that you need retraining before you support those jobs?
Well, I think you're right to focus on retraining, and the lifetime skills guarantee that Boris announced. It got very few headlines because clearly the whole world is focused on the coronavirus challenge, which the lifetime skills guarantee allows people of any age to reskill, to upskill, and the government will pay for that. So the equivalent of about 4 years of reskilling or upskilling using our further education infrastructure. This announcement today is an additional 250,000 jobs on top of what we currently have, which is about 460,000 jobs in the green sector between now and 2030. So this is the first tranche, I would call it, of getting that additional sort of 2 million jobs in total as we transition to net zero by 2050. So big announcement, £12 billion. You highlighted obviously the banning of petrol and diesel cars, but there's lots more in there on carbon capture, usage and storage in Teesside, in the West Midlands, in Scotland, and in Wales as well.
And Business Minister, the one thing that people keep on asking is actually, when will the government make a decision on the future of the carbon market post-Brexit? And actually, will it actually be towards an emission trading system or a carbon tax?
Well, clearly, an emission trading system is something that has its attractiveness to us, and I think that is something that we are considering, but we're looking at all our options. The Energy Minister is currently considering what is the right thing to do. We've got a great track record in many ways. If you look at what we've done on hydrogen, and, well, we're about to go on hydrogen, but we've done on offshore wind with CFDs, where we are now 36% of the whole of the planet's offshore energy wind generation. In about 15 years, we've been able to achieve that. I think there's a real opportunity for the UK to take real leadership in this, and of course the City of London to do the same thing.
Mr. Zahawi, Tom Keene in New York, in engineering there's that dreaded course midway through called systems analysis, which is basically game theory for science. Tell me about the adjacency factor here. This is a wonderful program, I get it, but how badly do you need the people across the North Sea and across the English Channel to be with you on this to make it work?
Well, I think it's important that we have partnerships, interconnectors. You're quite right to talk about people across the Channel and across the North Sea as well, which we are very confident in being able to achieve, and also a transition plan. If you look at our assets in the North Sea in oil and gas, they are real opportunities for carbon capture, usage and storage. And so I think with the announcement today, you will see a transition plan for North Sea oil and gas towards this new renewable world that Boris quite rightly wants to champion and lead the world in.
Tell me about the linkage here of federal action, what we'd call in the United States a more federal approach, with a Paris Accord idea of states and localities. How do you meld a Boris Johnson plan together with the localism of the Paris Accord?
Well, I think it's incredibly important that we carry with us the devolved administrations, the metro mayors. So if you look at what we're doing in Teesside, Ben Houchen is going to lead the country in many ways. We're going to have 4 hubs for carbon capture, usage and storage, an additional 200 million investment that takes us up to about $1 billion already and counting. Ben Houchen is a metro mayor, a brilliant metro mayor in Teesside, and he sees this as part of his investment in transforming the economy of Teesside. And I think that's really important. The agenda driven by the centre, Whitehall, but actually creating the environment to attract further investment. So the 12 billion that Boris announced today, we believe, as we've done before with the Green Investment Bank, will be matched 3 times. So 36 billion of private sector investment into this green industrial revolution.
Business Minister, I just want to come back to the difference between emissions trading and carbon tax for the carbon market, which is the most important point that people want to know about. Why is there a split between the Business Ministry and Treasury?
I don't think there is. I think it's very important that we work together. My colleague, the Minister for Energy, has been working with Treasury ministers on this, and we will obviously make an announcement appropriately. I was just really making a point that I think emissions trading is an attractive system, and I think we've got to just get this right.
Yeah, talk to me just briefly about nuclear. We keep on hearing from ministers that you're committed to large-scale plants. Where and how many?
So we're committed to large-scale nuclear. The Prime Minister announced today a further 500 million of investment in also developing a first-of-its-kind SMR, so the small modular reactors. We've got already a consortium in the UK that's leading on that. And of course, ultimately AMRs, the advanced modular reactors, which will come further down the road. This is a very important investment. So large nuclear, small and modular. And ultimately, we've got some fantastic innovation around fusion as well, and which we've already announced previously.